All right, I think we are live now. This is the PMC Lounge live session. My name is Shoaib, and I hope you are able to see me and hear me as I can see on the screen as well. I can do a quick check just to ensure that everything's working fine. And if it is, then we should be able to begin the session for today. So, as I was saying, this is the PMC Lounge live, and we are going to be talking about a really good topic today. It is a case study of sorts, and we are essentially pumped up to be here every week. Actually, mostly every week. Sometimes we do miss, but we try to dive into all things project management, and we try to help you level up your careers. You are a professional project manager. If you are already PMP certified, or if you are a project manager who has been managing projects for a number of years, you are expected to be a professional. You're not expected to be an amateur project manager. And the kind of things that we cover in these live sessions, the kind of insights that you're going to get, are definitely going to level up your project management game. They are going to basically take you to that notch above an amateur or a regular project manager. And today, like I said, we have a really good case study around project management. We'll talk a bit about business cases, and that is where you will have that edge. That is where you will get that information, that stuff about a business case, to be able to look at business cases, to be able to look at projects, and to be able to look at this case study from a different perspective, from an enhanced project manager point of view, right? So, and not just that, right? You could be a newbie, you could be a mid career climber. We have definitely got something for everyone, especially in our live sessions. So, today's session, as I was saying, is unique as we dive into the case study and we try to figure out how useful are business cases when it comes to project management, and how should you as a project manager approach business cases. So it's going to be jam packed with actionable tips and insights. So definitely buckle up, get ready, and take some serious notes as well. On this slide, you can find a brief introduction about me for those joining us live. Definitely grab a snack or your favorite drink. Hydration is the key, and settle in. Whether you're here live or you might be catching the replay later, we are so glad that you're here. Don't be shy. Jump into the chat if you're watching live. We love hearing your thoughts and questions. And replay viewers, hit that like button, drop a comment below, and let's spread the project management knowledge together. Just a heads up for our new friends, our live sessions typically follow a three-part structure. You have the welcome, then you have the feature content, and then you have the last call where we wrap things up. So the sections are going to be highlighted above. As you can see, we are in the welcome section right now, and we should be moving forward. But before we do that, a quick word about pmclounge.com. And the PMC in PMC Lounge stands for Project Management Certifications. Obviously, we are all about PMP and various project management related certifications out there, but there's more to us than just exams and than just preparation material, right? We are your go to source for staying updated on the latest in the project management industry, be it trends, be it reports, and all that good stuff. Our mission is to simplify project management, as you can see here, and we basically try to break down complex topics, complex project management topics into easily understandable language. Definitely check out the playlist section of this channel. You are going to find all the knowledge areas, all the principles, agile, everything that you need to know to prepare for your PMP exam. You are going to find there. And obviously, we have sessions like these. We have a podcast where you can level up your project management game and basically be a pro in project management domain. So definitely hit that subscribe button. Join us on this journey to achieve your project management career goals. By the way, we are also active on all the socials. So definitely give us a follow: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and especially on our Telegram channel, which is PMC Zone, t.me/PMC Zone. I'll catch you there. And let's start things off with a quote. Businesses often forget about the culture, and ultimately they suffer for it because you can deliver good service from unhappy employees. Do you think if companies forget their culture, if companies move away from their original culture or from the culture of, let's say, employee centricity, that actually harms the business? That's what this quote is all about. What do you think about it? Do you agree to this quote? Go ahead, drop a comment and let me know. All right, let's dive into the feature content for today. Are business cases worth it? So, do you recognize this place? This is the Sydney Opera House in Australia. And today we will be, as I mentioned earlier, talking about this not because we are, getting into travel vlogging or stuff, but because there is lessons in project management to be drawn from the project of construction of the Sydney Opera House. So the whole story of Sydney Opera House, right? There lies a great project management story and takeaway, which is what we are going to look at tomorrow. Not tomorrow, right now. All right. So let's talk about the history of this place. So this was designed by a Danish architect, John Utzon. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. And this was inaugurated on 20th of October 1973. This was after 14 years of construction. So it took 14 years to construct this, and its construction, it spanned obviously over a decade, showcasing the dedication and the vision behind this creation. So right from the history point of view itself, you can observe a fact that this was a project that took 14 years. The construction of Sydney Opera House took 14 years. So if you are the project manager of this project, or if you're someone working on this project, remember you are working on a 14-year long project. So that's something to consider based on just from the history of this place. Think of all the schedule changes, your cost, risks, quality, everything. Think about all of that, considering the fact that this was a 14-year long project. Now, there's an architectural significance also. It is acclaimed for its innovative design. The Sydney Opera House, it features a series of shell-like structures. Here you can see, right? Shell-like structures, which is what it basically features. And these symbolize sails billowing in the wind. It's now this distinctive architecture that you have, it is actually pretty groundbreaking, and it has earned the UNESCO World Heritage status for this building. So this is counted as one of the UNESCO World Heritage sites. So that's something to consider again, right? So you're working on a 14-year long project, right? Remember to look at all of this not from the purpose of entertainment, but from the purpose of trying to figure out the complexities a project manager would face, trying to figure out the project management aspects of this building that we are talking about, the Opera House, right? So 14-year long project, ultimately it leads to UNESCO naming it a World Heritage Site. So fantastic project delivery, I must say, right? Now, let's talk about the cultural impact. So, this serves as a venue for performing arts, and it hosts over 1,500 performances annually. And it attracts millions of visitors worldwide. Now, beyond its architectural marvel, it plays a vital role in promoting cultural exchange and artistic expression, which obviously enriches the life of the audiences globally. So this is something which is the output of your project, right? You delivered a 14-year long construction project it got selected in the UNESCO as the UNESCO World Heritage Site status. And the outcome that you're getting out of it is 1500 performances that are happening annually, and then obviously it's attracting millions of visitors. Some statistics here: this whole site, it spans over 4.4 acres of land, and it comprises of multiple performance avenues, including the concert hall, opera theater, drama theater, and there's an adjacent room as well named after the person who built it. And its versatile spaces accommodate a wide range of artistic endeavors, from opera and ballet to theater and symphony concerts. Next is it is obviously a cultural hub, because the Sydney Opera House, it serves as a cultural hub because it serves for facilitating artistic collaboration. There are educational programs happening, there are community events that are happening, and its role extends beyond entertainment, because it's fostering creativity and cultural exchange as well. Obviously, this is an iconic landmark. Anyone who visits Sydney would definitely go and see at the Sydney Opera House as well. So, this is one of the most recognizable landmarks globally, and it has become a symbol of Sydney and even Australia's identity. In fact, right before this session, I went to ChatGPT and I asked, "What is Australia famous for?" And it gave me a few answers. One of it was the Sydney Opera House. So, obviously, this is something which is a landmark when it comes to tourist attractions, or just what Australia is known for, right? And you have images of this opera house on postcards, travel brochures, promotional materials. It represents the country's rich cultural heritage, basically. And not just that, even the architectural prowess of Australia. This is also an engineering marvel, because the construction of this opera house, it posed significant engineering challenges, particularly in realizing the ambitious design that basically Hudson had, the person who designed it. And its innovative structural solutions, including precast concrete shells, exemplify engineering excellence and have inspired generation of architects and engineers worldwide. Other than that, we just talked about how it is a tourist attraction. It draws millions of visitors annually. Visitors basically flock to its shores to admire its architectural beauty. They even attend performances and even explore the other facilities that are available there. Overall, this is a symbol of unity, because it has played a role in fostering unity and national pride among Australians, right? Particularly during significant events like, let's say, Australia Day celebrations, there's New Year's Eve festivities, there are some cultural festivals that are celebrated in Australia. So it serves as a gathering place for people from diverse backgrounds to come together and basically celebrate these shared values. So far, what we have understood is that the project was 14-year long. The project has been extremely successful because it has achieved so much. It has put Australia on the map. This is one of the most recognizable buildings in the world. Now, from the lens of a project manager, what do you think about this project? If you were the project manager who built the Sydney Opera House, would you consider this as a successful project? Obviously, your answer is going to be a yes. But what if we go into the details of how the construction took place? Maybe then you might want to sort of relook at your answers, just to consider whether or not this was a successful project. So, we are obviously project managers, so we ought to look at this project from the lens of project management. And from the project management point of view, do you think this was a successful project? What if I told you some of the things that happened with this project? Number one was delays. So this project faced significant delays throughout its construction phase. Originally, it was projected to take 4 years to complete, but it took over 14 years to complete. And the delays were primarily due to the complex design of the building, which we saw in the previous slide. There were some engineering challenges and there were logistical issues encountered during the construction of the project. Now that you have this information, this was supposed to be built in 4 years. It took 14 years to build. Do you think this was a successful project? Yeah, that's a question, right? You should consider thinking about it. Let's talk about some other issues with this. Budget overruns. So, obviously, if a 4 year long project is going to take 14 years, obviously the budget is going to, stretch a lot. So, the initial budget estimate was $8 million, but it was definitely underestimated, actually grossly underestimated, because the final cost of this project, hold your breath, it was supposed to be 8 million. The final cost was $102 million. Now, the budget overruns, there were various factors for it, right? Like design changes, construction delays, labor disputes, and any other unexpected challenges that were encountered during the project's execution. So, obviously, an $8 million project cost $102 million. Would you consider this a successful project? Obviously, this led to some funding challenges. So, to finance these escalating costs, the New South Wales government faced considerable challenges in securing additional funding for the project. Now, the budget overruns, it strained public finances as well. It led to debates and it led to controversies surrounding the allocation of the funds, of course, right? And there was obviously a financial impact, right? The substantial budget overruns and delays had far reaching financial implications for the government and the taxpayers. So the project cost overrun of over 1200%, it resulted in significant public scrutiny and criticism, highlighting the importance of accurate project planning and even cost estimation. So if you're a project manager on a project that you estimate is going to cost $8 million, and then it costs $102 million, obviously something was way off, right? Your estimates were way off. So now, what do you think about this project? What do you think about the project management activities around this project, right? There were delays, there were budget overruns. It led to even the government, the sponsor was of this project was the government. So even the government faced flack for this. What do you think? Do you think this is a successful project? Well, one thing that goes with it is that there is legacy to it, right? We just talked about how this has become a UNESCO World Heritage Site, how this has put Australia on the map. So obviously, despite all these challenges and setback, the Sydney Opera House, it stands today as an enduring symbol of architectural innovation and cultural significance. So its completion represents a triumph of perseverance and vision, and it demonstrates the resilience of human spirit, or I must say, the project management spirit in the face of adversity. So, what do you think about this project so far? Definitely drop a comments and we'll continue our discussion. As a project manager, what can we learn from this? So, despite facing significant delays and budget overruns, it emerged as an architectural masterpiece. It is a global icon, right? So, it challenges traditional notions of project success. And that is the reason why I kept asking you, what do you think about this project? What do you think about the project management practices that must have been involved while delivering this project? What do you think about the project manager of this project? 4 year long project taking 14 years to complete. $8 million, project cost was supposed to be, which was end of the day, it cost over $100,000, right? So no, $100 million. So from 8 million to 100 million, from 4 years to 14 years. What do you think about this project? This is, I mean, you could say that this is a massive failure. But then we look at some of the other aspects of the project. We look at how successful this building really is, how successfully it has put Australia on the map of the world. So this challenges the traditional notion. The traditional notion is this project was a massive failure, but the kind of value that this project provided after it was completed, this definitely challenges the traditional notions of how you can consider a project as successful. So the project serves as a captivating example of project management complexities and definitely the interplay between business case and the purpose. And this is what I wanted you to come towards and think about this project from the point of view of the purpose that it serves and not from the point of view of the business case. Because if you look at the business case is going to talk about return on investment. The business case is going to talk about all the numbers, all the metrics, all the finances, all the schedule, the time that it needs to take to finish the project and to start delivering value. So if you look at this project from the business case point of view, project is a massive failure. But then you look at this project from the purpose that it serves, massive, massive success. It's a global icon, right? So this is the interplay between business case and the purpose that I want to basically highlight as part of this live stream. So the limitations of the business case is something that you would definitely sort of understand from this case study, right? This is something that you will think about. Are we relying solely on financial metrics? If we are doing so, is that even correct? Is it going to obscure the broader strategic and societal impacts of a project, right? Think about it. Just relying solely on financial metrics, just relying solely on ROIs, isn't that obscuring your view, the larger picture of how grand success this project actually is because of its strategic impact, because of its societal impact, right? Now, despite its flawed business case, because if you look at it from the business case point of view, it's actually sort of flawed because this project was, even if it cost more, even if it took more time, the purpose of the project was to create a world class cultural landmark. And it actually did that. The project actually delivered it. Project actually delivered a world class cultural landmark. It is something that millions of people travel to look at every year, right? So the lessons learned here is that the project's journey, the Sydney Opera House project's journey, it highlights the importance of balancing financial considerations with the broader societal and the strategic objective that you are trying to meet as part of your project. So it's not always just about the finances. Obviously, finances matter, right? Obviously, if you're looking at a project, if you're selecting a project, or if you have two projects, you have to select one of them, you are obviously going to favor the one that has better financial considerations, that has better ROI. But as a project manager, we should also look at the other side of the coin, right? We should also look at the larger picture. We should also look at the societal impact that the project is going to have, the broader strategic objectives that a project might actually meet if it gets completed. So that's what Sydney Opera House basically talks about. The purpose was the only metric that really mattered. The metric of finance, the metric of time didn't really matter when it comes to Sydney Opera House if you look at it today, right? So the importance of purpose in project management is what we should be talking about. The first thing is strategic alignment. If you have a purpose on your project, right, the purpose ensures that projects are aligned with the organizational goals and contribute meaningfully to the overarching mission that you're looking for. Now, if you look at the Sydney Opera House, the overarching mission here was to basically build something which becomes an icon, to build something where performers can come in and perform and it becomes a cultural hub, right? That was the overarching goal, the overarching mission behind completing this project. And that was met beautifully, extravagantly, right? So the Sydney Opera House, despite its initial setbacks, it ultimately fulfilled its purpose of becoming a globally recognized cultural landmark. And it aligns with the vision that Sydney has. Sydney as a city and the government there, they had the vision of promoting arts and culture. And this project, the output of this project, is actually able to do so, and do so in a grand style. Now, let's talk about motivation as well. So, when we are talking about the purpose, right, in project management, because we are now looking at a project from the point of view of the purpose that it serves and not from the point of view of the business case, right? We are setting aside the finances and the schedule for a minute, and we are just looking at the kind of purpose we are trying to achieve. So projects that are driven by purpose, they resonate with stakeholders on a deeper level, because it's not just numbers, it's something that they feel connected towards, right? It fosters greater engagement, it fosters greater commitment. And the iconic status that Sydney Opera House has, it motivated the stakeholders to overcome all the challenges that they faced and support the project's completion, even if it took 14 years where it was supposed to take 4 years, right? So the purpose taps into individuals' intrinsic motivations, inspiring them to go above and beyond in pursuit of project goals, something that we have definitely seen. And the vision of creating an iconic cultural landmark like the Sydney Opera House, it inspired the architects, the engineers, the project staff, and other workers, right, to strive for excellence and overcome any challenges that they might have faced. And this is ties to the next point, resilience in the face of challenges, right? Because if you have a purpose, it provides a guiding light during any kind of turbulent times, enabling teams to persevere and overcome obstacles. So, despite this project facing numerous setbacks, including delays, including budget overruns, the unwavering commitment to this project's purpose, it fueled the resilience and it fueled the determination which kept everyone going, which motivated everyone to deliver on this, right? It also fosters innovation. So when you're talking about a project which is fueled by purpose, it definitely fosters innovation. We talk about creativity, we talk about innovation, we talk about driving organizations toward new opportunities and growths. The Opera House, it basically has an unconventional design. And when I was talking about the case study, I mentioned how this unconventional design actually created challenges for the teams, and it actually caused a lot of delays. But that didn't mean that the design was changed. The design remained as is, right? And there were ultimately solutions from engineering point of view which were put in place so that this design actually becomes a reality. So what's happening here is that innovation is taking place, right? And we also talked about how this inspired several other architects around the world, several other buildings around the world. So that's something which happened because the project was driven by purpose and not by hardcore numbers of cost and schedule. Then we talk about team cohesion. Of course, if there's a shared purpose, it fosters a sense of unity, something that we talked about in motivation as well. The collaborative efforts of the diverse teams that were involved in the Sydney Opera House project, it showcased the power of shared purpose in fostering teamwork and achieving collective goals. Next, we talk about enhanced performance. So If your project is purpose driven, it unlocks the full potential of teams. It results in higher levels of productivity and performance. Otherwise, who is going to work on a 14-year long project, right? If you were supposed to, uh, you know, tomorrow, if somebody was to tell you that, hey, we would like to hire you as a project manager for a project that is going to last 14 years, would you say yes? Maybe not. If that person, and I mean, forget 14 years, if you were told that this is a very challenging project, we have this challenging design and we are looking to complete it in 4 years, but there are loads of risks, a lot of project managers might not be interested there as well. But if somebody was to tell you that this is a project, it has a lot of challenges, but our purpose, our aim is to is that the output of this project, right? The construction that once it's complete, the building is so iconic that millions of people are going to come to visit it every year. That UNESCO is going to select it as a World Heritage Site. If that's the purpose of the project, it is very, very possible that you are going to step up and you are going to take it, because who does not want to be a part of history, right? So that is the enhanced performance that it talks about. And then finally, the long term impact. The projects that are rooted in purpose, they leave a lasting legacy. They drive growth, they drive organizational success, and the enduring legacy of the opera house as a cultural icon, it underscores the long-term impact of purpose-driven projects in shaping communities and inspiring future generations. This is the reason why I wanted to take up this case study, right? Look at projects. Obviously, you have to look at projects from the finance point of view, from the budget point of view. Look at the numbers, look at the hardcore numbers, right? They need to make sense for sure. If you are going to tell me that a 4 year long project took 14 years, I'm going to call it a massive failure, right? But you also have to look at the larger picture. You also have to look at the purpose that this project is trying to achieve. And more often than not, you are not going to find that purpose in the business case. Business standpoint, right? From the business point of view, does it make sense for a 4 year long project to take 14 years? Does it make sense for a project that was supposed to cost $8 million and now cost over $100 million? It makes absolutely no sense. But that's where purpose comes into the picture. That's where the value that your project is providing comes into the picture. And that is why, that is what we wanted to talk about, right? The importance that purpose has when it comes to project management. It cannot be quantified, right? Now, before I talk about Lounge Access, I hope you're finding some good nuggets in this live stream. As we are about to close now, we are in our last call section. And if you're finding value so far, definitely go ahead, drop a like button, let me know. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on what we have discussed today? What are your thoughts about the Sydney Opera House? Have you been there? Do you consider this project as a success or a failure? Is there anything you would like to add or discuss with me? In fact, when it comes to discuss with me, that's where Lounge Access also comes into play. If you want to discuss your career goals, if you want to get your questions answered around the PMP certification, maybe your project management career path, or you want to jump into project management domain, or anything else, as long as we stick to project management, you can check out pmclounge.com/access to book a slot and discuss with me. This is definitely something that you should take advantage of. This is aptly titled Lounge Access because I hope you remember we are called PMC Lounge. So some wordplay there. This is a testimonial. If you have benefited from our content, definitely drop your feedback to pmclounge.com/write. It keeps us stay motivated. It keeps us going. So definitely do so. Thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed the session today. Definitely keep learning. If you like our work, you can consider contributing by heading over to pmclounge.com/contribute. I hope you enjoyed today. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.